Hey guys, I'm recording this on a beautiful Palm Sunday. Hope all of you are well. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about last week's author, Ray Bradbury, and the author's work you will be reading this week, E.M. Forster. A little bit about Ray Bradbury and his rather strange story you read, There Will Come Soft Rains. Bradbury was born in 1920 and lived until 2012. He was an author and a screenwriter. A little research, I'm just reading. Ray Bradbury had a deep concern for the welfare and destiny of his fellow humans. Through his stories and through his life, he imagined ways to create a better world and offered cautions designed to sustain the one we have. He had no scientific or technical training. I love this. He had an innate sense of what might come in the future. Miraculous devices that at the time were just science fiction. And of course, he was primarily writing in the 50s. He once described the kind of fiction he wrote as, quote, really sociological studies of the future, things that the writer believes are going to happen by putting two and two together, end quote. And I think that's what good dystopian writers are able to do. They are visionaries. They have a way of adding two and two and projecting what they see might be coming and warning us about such. His poem that he references in the story was written by Sarah Teasdale shortly after World War I. So he is looking back in his story at another literary piece, There Will Come Soft Rains. Both pieces speak to the same issue. That is that if we are not careful with technology, particularly in these works, technology that is used in war, it could be the end for humankind. Maybe a little hyperbolic, hopefully so. Hopefully we will heed that warning. This week you're going to look at a story, The Machine Stops by E.M. Forster. I think it's really important to reflect that this story was written in 1909. Forster was a novelist. His works, Hour's End, A Passage to India, A Room with a View, very popular, made into movies, quite a successful writer. In these works, he kind of criticized the hierarchical, kind of snobbish world of the British at the time he lived, per his perspective. The Machine Stops is an unusual piece for Forster. I'm quoting again. Forster feared machines taking over, people then losing connection with life, with what it meant to be human and what it meant to be humane. And certainly you will see that in The Machine Stops. I think it very much speaks to a lot of our world today. I want to mention an essay that you will not have to read, written by Henry Adams, The Dynamo and the Virgin, written in 1900, after Adams had gone to the Paris Exposition, what we might call a World's Fair. And at this exposition in Paris, he saw these huge new machines and energy and all of this industrialization, and people literally oohing and aahing and bowing down before these machines. And it caused him to go out and look. He left the exposition and saw the cathedrals that were kind of empty. And it caused him then to write this essay comparing this worship, so to speak, of technology, the new technology and machines, with the older worship, primarily European, Southern European, Catholicism and the Virgin, hence the title of the essay. But basically, in the essay, he wonders, much like Forster did in The Machine Stops, if technology would take us away from any kind of spiritual focus. I think that was a concern at the turn of the 20th century, certainly still a concern today. So these works, I think, are relevant. I will see some of you a little later this morning in our individual conference time. I will see the rest of you on Wednesday. I will see all of you Wednesday at 10:15. We're going to try that little group meeting, and I'm going to focus on and highlight the one thing that I saw most of you have a little trouble with grasping last week. So try to get into Let's Talk at 10:15, and we'll go from there. Don't hesitate again to text or call. And if you get a text reply or an email reply, and you're still kind of going, I'm not sure exactly, please follow up with a phone call. Sometimes it's just a lot easier to clarify things in a conversation. Okay, hope all is going well. Start week 2.